The Kiev authorities are very alarmed by the rapidly growing discontent of Ukrainian citizens against the background of another wave of forced mobilization. The situation is so serious that even many Ukrainian deputies feared the people's anger and resigned as deputies of the Ukrainian parliament. Even though the draft law on a new wave of forced mobilization is still under consideration by deputies of the Ukrainian parliament, the citizens of Ukraine have already begun to show their dissatisfaction. The fact is that according to the new law on forced mobilization, all citizens of Ukraine, including those who are abroad, are required to create a so-called electronic account of a serviceman within 60 days. Moreover, all citizens of Ukraine must carry a military ID and immediately come to the recruitment offices as soon as such an order is received. According to the new law on forced mobilization, all those citizens of Ukraine who violate at least one of the listed requirements will be prosecuted. Moreover, their bank accounts will be seized. In addition, they will also be deprived of their driver's license and banned from traveling abroad. Experts believe that with such draconian measures, President Vladimir Zelensky is trying to send about 500,000 men and women of Ukraine to the trenches. However, according to experts, even if Zelensky manages to forcibly send 500,000 people to the front, the Kiev regime would not be able to maintain such an army without further Western funding. In general, Zelensky is now in a very challenging position. The situation at the front is rapidly deteriorating, Western funding of the Kiev regime and Ukrainian army is rapidly decreasing, and the discontent of Ukrainian citizens is rapidly growing. Analysts are confident that all this can lead to mass unrest across the country. Meanwhile, on the night of January 31st, Russia launched another massive missile attack on the territory of Ukraine. This time, the Kherson, Nikolayev, Kharkiv, and Dnipropetrovsk regions were subjected to missile attacks. The air alert sounded throughout the night in cities such as Kharkiv, Kryvyi Rih, Volchansk, Dnipropetrovsk, and Kherson. Today, as yesterday, Russia used dozens of Iskander ballistic missiles, Geranium kamikaze drones, as well as cruise missiles of various types, ranging from the Kh-101 to the Kh-32. Even though the Kiev authorities diligently hide the damage caused to the military infrastructure, bases, warehouses, and places of deployment of the personnel of the armed forces of Ukraine, witnesses continue to post dozens of videos on the internet showing the burning military facilities of the Ukrainian army and NATO forces. At the same time, it is worth noting that recently, Russia has begun to strike more often at places of deployment of foreign mercenaries and the personnel of the armed forces of Ukraine. And today's missile attack was no exception. So, in addition to today's destroyed military depots and facilities of the armed forces of Ukraine, Russian missiles also hit the base of foreign mercenaries in the northwestern part of Kherson. It is reported that as a result of this missile strike, about 80 Polish mercenaries were killed. At the same time, it is worth noting that this missile strike was carried out using 2 Iskander ballistic missiles during the night. Moreover, sources in the Russian military department confirmed the fact that among the dead mercenaries were also active officers and soldiers of the Polish army. In addition, a few hours later, Russian missiles also struck the system of communication and control of enemy troops in the southern part of Kherson.